This is episode 99 of the Out of the Minds podcast. I'm Sean Oakley.
And I'm Sam Cooper, and Sir not appearing in this game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not the first time you've used that one.
Look, we're 99 episodes in. If the fact that I'm recycling only a few times is actually signs that I'm a genius.
Yeah, fair. Yes, this week we have got a game that I played against Chris Burnett a few days ago. And I am taking one of the lists I've been talking about recently that I wanted to give a go, which is the Thai Bombers. And I've just pretty much stolen the Thai Bomber. Those that did quite well at Expo. So Tomix and Jonas with barrage rockets, bomb the generator, and saturation salvo. Reimer with barrage rockets, saturation salvo, and ion bombs. Then Boy Vader and Fifth Brother in the Thai Advanced V1 with homing missiles and brilliant innovation. Well, that's a good base. It's clearly a good list. We'll start there and have a play. Wanted to see how good the bombers were. And Chris has bought the list that he's been playing a lot recently. It's been taken to a few tournaments. Took it to the Curtain event we both played. Took it to Expo and just so narrowly missed out on making it to day 2. Almost down to a blinded pilot, but yeah. And he has got Big Boy Han Solo with Trick Shot, Perceptive Co-Pilot, Biston, and Title. Boy Luke, Boy Hole in the Y-Wing, Baby Wedge with Marksmanship and Crackshot, and Sabine Wren in the Thai with Beskar Reinforced Plating. And it's a nice list. It's a nice list.
It's got cool characters, a bunch of different ships, and it has teeth.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the theme for lists currently.
Yeah. So we rolled off turn 0 and I'm first player. I'm pretty sure I'm first player a lot in this game. Pretty sure Chris gets 2 turns and that's it. But hey ho. And we are playing Salvage Mission. Which I'm kind of okay with. Bombers can cope without barrel rolling if they don't want to. Vader kind of doesn't want to take it, and neither does the Inky, but we'll see. And I've brought 3 large-ish. No, I brought the 3 small rocks. Chris brought 2 large and the finger rock because he likes the finger rock. And objectives, we basically, as I'm looking at it, we have 4 in my bottom left-hand corner. The centre, 1 to the left of the centre, slightly on Chris's edge. Then 1 down in my bottom left corner and 1 below the centre. And then 1 up in the top right corner as I'm looking at it. And then the rocks are basically a triangle, I suppose, from Chris's bottom right corner along his edge and then towards the centre-ish. It's the best way of describing that. So there's a lot of space to play with. But most of it is on the right-hand side where very few of the objectives are.
Yeah, so this game, to me, looking at the objectives and rocks, basically the entire game should be played on the left-hand side, because that's where all the objectives are. And whilst there's loads of space, the space, I guess, could be used later if you get objectives and leave.
Yeah, but you need to get in there first and get them.
Yeah, exactly.
So Chris sets up his 3 first because I'm all 4s or above, and he sets up Sabine just to the right-hand side of the lone objective in his left-hand corner, just below the finger rock. Then we go to my 4s, and I set up Jonas below the bottom left objective as I'm looking at it. Basically going to trundle up that side where there's 2 objectives. I set up Reimer just below and slightly to the right of the objective that's in the centre but towards my board edge. It's just below a big rock. My thinking there is I bank turn 1 straight or 2 straight, turn 2, stay range 1, pick it up, and then just continue on the diagonal to join up with Jonas.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then Fifth Brother goes to the right of him, so he can come up. He can come into the rocks towards the centre. He's reasonably manoeuvrable. If I can just get in, get a lock at range. Oh, I can't remember what homing missiles are. They're 1 to 2, aren't they?
I mean, missiles 2 to 3.
2 to 3. They're even better. Yeah, get a lock.
Thinking of the torps.
Yeah,
thinking of the torps.
Get a lock. Start doing his stuff with the janky crits. Great. So Chris sets up his 4s, which are wedge and hull, and they're basically in between the 4 objectives to come through a gap between 2 rocks straight into the centre. Then we go to my 5s, and I set up Tomahawks just to the left of Jonas, because I want those 3 bombers together to get the rerolls from the barrage rockets. Chris sets up boy Luke opposite. Cool. Must try and remember not to do a 3 straight, or he'll get me. And then I set up Vader on the right, opposite, or just slightly to the right opposite of Sabine. Just want to present a threat, so Sabine can't trundle around completely free, I suppose. That's it. So we go into turn 1, and I'm first player again. And here we go. Sabine does a barrel roll to the left, and then does a 2-bank. And takes an evade. I do a 1 straight with Jonas. I 1-bank with Reimer. I do a 2 straight with the 5th brother. And lock a rock, just in case we get some jams out there. Then we go to Chris, who does a... I cannot see that. I think that's a 2 straight with the Y-wing and a 3 straight with wedge.
Yep.
To just jump into the centre.
And they take no actions, apparently.
I'm sure he just focused, but didn't worry about it because we're not shooting. A 1 straight from Tomax, because Luke does do the 4 straight. And I know from experience at Curtin, it caught me off guard that a 3 straight will get you in range 3 from a 4 straight attack speed boost.
Yeah.
So maybe I should have 2'd, but I wanted to stay as far back because I want to engage at range 3 ideally. I know Luke does as well, but it makes Han a little bit harder. It makes the Y-wing and Wedge a little bit worse. I don't want a range 1 engage. And Vader does a 5 straight because I want to present that threat to Sabine, and I take a focus. And then Han does, I think that was a 2 straight, and double focuses. And unsurprisingly, we have no shooting because
good lord, slow. No shooting turn 1.
No shooting.
Clearly, no one's playing 5 straight slam tri-fighters in this game.
Nope. But we go to turn 2 in a sec, and it will be mistake number 1. Because I remember this one.
Is that a 4 straight on your yellow on Captain Jonas I see you putting in?
I can't remember. We'll find out in a minute. I may have been thinking at this point. I can't remember. Sorry, I'll start again. It's been like 6 days since I played this. 5 days, so I can't remember it 100%. But I've got the feeling that I may have been thinking, okay, if I jump in fast, Luke can't pro-torp me, and I can still get the barrage rockets off on the Y-wing, which means I'm not worrying about an APT coming back at me. Han's turret isn't facing me, so if he wants that, he's going to have to rotate or turn. And if he turns, he's probably not range 1. That was my thinking. So we go to turn 2, and Chris is first player, and he does a 5 straight with Sabine straight into the centre and picks up the centre objective.
All right. So basically saying, Vader, having nothing to do with you. If you thought I was going slow, Vader's taking a turn out.
Yeah. Wedge does I think that's a 3 bank to the left.
Yeah, a 2 or 3 bank to the left.
Down towards the Grand Inquisitor, Fifth Brother, and takes a focus. And then Hull, I think that's a 1 bank and takes a focus.
Yeah, 1 bank to the right and takes a focus.
So I do a 4 straight with Jonas. And take a focus. I 4 straight with Reimer and take a focus. And then I do a 4... No, that's not 4 straight, is it? Where's my die? I can't see that. 2 straight, I think, with Fifth Brother. I've got Wedge in arc. I've got the Force, so I take a target lock on him.
Yeah.
Luke does a 3 straight. He takes a lock onto Jonas. I 3 straight with Tomax because I wanted to keep the options. Maybe I do end up range 2 of Luke. But just keep your options open for where you want to put those barrage rockets. And yeah, he focuses. Han hard turns in, and by God, that's close to Hull.
Yeah, that is close to Hull. So that is a 2 hard to the left, turn into the center. So that gets his arc rotated towards your bombers, and I assume double focus.
Yeah, but it does keep the distance. And
That's true.
Here is mistake number 1. I 3 straight with Vader. Now I 3 straighted. My initial plan was to 3 bank to the left, and you'll laugh at this. The reason I 3 straighted was because I was like, well, what if I 3 bank and Sabine's turned in behind me? And in hindsight, it's a bloody TIE fighter. Like
I was going to say, do you care?
Yeah, I know. In hindsight, like the moment we started, I was like, I was thinking it through. Who gives a rat's basically? Like, I should have 3. If she turned in, I do what I'd do in this situation anyway. I 3 back. I afterburners in. She doesn't have me in arc. Like, I thought, if she does a 1 hard and I've banked round and then I don't get her. Why? Like, I should have 3 banked. And it does screw me a little bit.
You at least afterburners, right?
No. What I think I should have done here was taken a reach for a lock and tried to lock Wedge. I don't. I barrel roll to the left to be able to cut in the rocks the next turn, which kind of does the same as an afterburners.
Yeah. Well, the reason I was thinking afterburners is because maybe you could just sneakily grab the crate.
That's true. That is true. But yeah, I should have just done the bank. Because then I afterburners in, I take a lock on Sabine, and there's a reasonable chance 1 crit sneaks through to...
Yeah.
Well, they're saying that she has got Beskar, so...
Beskar does not prevent crits. It prevents face-up damage cards from being dealt. She still suffered a crit.
Ah, that's true. So she dropped the boss. Okay.
It's the same how a concussion bomb is not suffering a crit, so you don't drop crates. You're just dealt a face-up damage card.
Yeah. So we go to the shooting, and Han has range 2 on all my bombers. So it goes into Jonas, rolls hit crit blank, keeps it. I roll evade blank, and I take a damaged engine. All right, cool.
Fine.
He then goes into... Who's
Reimer? That's the only one that can possibly be...
Reimer, because it's trick shot. And he rolls hit crit out of hand.
Lovely.
I roll 3 evades.
Okay, so no complaints there.
Damage sensor array. All right, yeah, okay, I'm all right with that.
Oh, he's out of hand. There's a focus there, so he must have spent something.
What? A focus where?
Chris just moved a focus to his dice, so I assume he spent a focus.
I did. Oh, fair. That's because they're going speed. So we go to the 5s, and it's Luke. And he torps Jonas. And that was hit crit out of hand.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that one.
So 2 hits, 2 crits after the pro top. focus blank, and I opt. Oh no, I do spend the focus because
no, you spend the focus here. Absolutely,
I spend the
5 health, and you're taking 2 crits. Yeah,
yeah. So I take hit, crit. First crit is a console fire. Second crit is a hull breach. So Jonas on 2, sorry. But I have a console fire and a hull breach. Right, so then we go to Tomux, and I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm an idiot here. So I shoot Luke, and I shouldn't have shot Luke. I should have just shot Han.
Yeah.
Like,
you got 3 decent shots onto Han.
I know what I was thinking. I was thinking, saturation salvo's no good on Han because he can just re-roll it anyway. It doesn't shut it down. I still should have just shot Han. He's got 1 dice.
Why can he re-roll it?
Because his re-roll's not a re-roll.
Oh yes, of course, the hand re-roll. Sorry,
the hand the hand. So saturation salvo will shut down things like elusive because you've already re-rolled that dice once, so you can't re-roll it a second time. But hand gets around that.
Yeah. I was thinking it might. For some reason, I had in my head boy hand, and I was like, he's got hull next to him. There's no way he's re-rolling anything.
No. So I roll crit, focus blank. I re-roll with Jonas into a focus, and I spend for 2 hits and a crit. Right, is this the... Yeah, so Luke gets 2 focuses, spends all the force. Then we go to Wedge, who goes into 5th brother at range 2, rolls hit, and marksman's up to a crit. I roll 2 blanks. So there are the shields. Then we go to Hull, who I think goes range 2 into Jonas.
We just skipped Reimer here. Oh no, your force, his force is still going. So no.
He rolls blank focus, I believe, and spends the focus for 1. I roll 2 blanks. It's a direct hit because of the hull breach. The next one is a direct hit and then a fuel leak. Yeah. So Jonas is dead.
Yep, but still gets to shoot.
Jonas go... so I do Reimer first, and I shoot into Luke. And again, I shouldn't have shot into Luke. I roll 2 blanks and a focus. I re-roll the 2 blanks into a hit and a focus, and I spend for 3. So Luke rolls evade blank, and I opt to saturation salvo it because I don't really think. I'd be unlucky to come off worse. He's only got 1 force, but lo and behold, he rolls evade focus. So yeah. At that point, I had to try and spike stuff through because suddenly my bombers are becoming worse. I don't have the rerolls after this round. So he just takes 1. Then I go to Jonas, who only has a primary. And I think I go into Han here because I just don't think I'll do anything against Luke. I get 1 hit. He rolls 1 evade. 5th brother, home in missiles Wedge. And Chris opts to take the damage, so I spend the double force to add a crit.
Yep.
And that's it.
Okay.
Chris scores a point for Sabine's point, and I'm 5-0 down. And my list has lost a large proportion of its punch.
Yeah, so I think here's where I think I think the mistake here is Jonas went too fast because I didn't know off the top of my head who's the guy giving rerolls, but if he's the guy giving rerolls, it's the same as Howl Runner. You don't run Howl Runner in like a lunatic.
But so he still was range 2 from Han, and he was never going to not be range 3 from Luke. Even a 1 straight would have left him range 3.
Oh yeah, you're probably still eating the top.
Well, I think I still eat the same shots.
Well, I think if you just like 2 or 3 straighted, like you're range 3 of Han and range 3 of Hull.
Maybe. I think taking those shots though, I'd still would have had to spend the focus, and yeah.
Oh yeah, you probably still spend the focus, but I think like putting Reimer first, like because like even let's say even if he's still alive now, Sabine still has a shot into Reimer at this point.
Yeah,
not Reimer, sorry, Jonas.
Speaking of, we do go back and do Sabine in a minute. We do clock. She's missed it. Yeah, I think that combined with the fact that I should have just put the barrage rockets into Han.
Yeah,
because if I plinked enough damage off Han, then Vader can just come in.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that wasn't ideal. And here we go. And Sabine does nothing, so yeah. But yeah, now I'm like, right, now I have issues because I've got the barrage rockets, but suddenly I can't mod them as half as well.
It's not unrecoverable.
Fifth Brother's already down to half and has no shields, so it's not ideal.
No. Like, it's not ideal, but it's not unrecoverable.
So we roll off, and Chris is first player for turn 3. And
so I would have dropped bombs here. At least with Bren.
So I didn't, because I was fully expecting a hard turn from Luke.
Yeah.
That would just not get range 1.
Like that's fair. Like to me, I'd drop bombs. Just be like, if you go for that objective.
I don't think Chris does.
Yeah.
Which is why I didn't.
I mean, yeah, I can understand. Like, at least to me, I drop an ion and a bomblet here.
Fair. Chris does a 3 bank with Sabine, and takes a token. I'm guessing that is behind the tie that I can't see.
Behind the wings, yeah. Probably a focus or an evade.
Wedge does a 3 sloop.
Yep, nice.
Hull does I think that's a 3 bank, or maybe
that's definitely a 3 bank.
A 3 bank. He takes a focus and triggers precise astromech for a lock onto Reimer. Reimer then does a 1 bank because I wasn't expecting the Y-wing to jump.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
Over that. And I'm screwed because I'm sat range 1 in front of him and I can't get out of it.
Yeah.
Sabine's in the way for the barrel roll. So I just take the focus because I don't really have much other choice.
Go down with a fight.
I do a 1 bank in, 2 bank in with the V1, Fifth Brother. I don't want to sit in Wedge's bullseye, so I focus into a boost. Luke does a 1 bank, which, I don't think that would have been range of any of the bombs.
No, it wouldn't have been.
And he takes a lock onto Reimer. I 1 bank bump Tomax into Luke, so take the red focus. Han attempts a, I'm guessing hard turn.
Oh, I can't see his dial, but that looks like a hard turn.
But he bumps into Fifth Brother and takes the red double focus. And then Vader does a 2 hard in and takes a lock onto Han.
Nice.
So at least I've got
Han has nice shots.
Yes, doesn't Han have nice shots? Do you want to know what Han rolls? It's good. So yes, Han has some nice shots. He takes the, I think, range 1 unobstructed into Reimer.
Interesting.
He rolls 1 hit, 1 blank, 2 focuses, and spends for 3. I roll 1 evade, so take 2, so down to 3. And I wouldn't have been able to barrel roll Reimer out of the way because he had a damaged sense array, which is why I focused.
There we go.
He then does, I believe, the range 2 obstructed into Vader, and rolls hit, crit, and a blank. I roll 1 evade and 3 focuses, and I do spend 2 force because I'm not risking that.
No, that makes sense.
Then we go to Vader, who does the range 2 obstructed back into Han. I roll 3 hits, so change 1 to a crit with advanced targeting computer. Han rolls 2 evades, so takes 1 on the shields. Luke does the range 1 into Reimer. rolls blank, blank, focus, hit, re-rolls all of them except the hit, and ends up with hit, hit, crit. I roll 1 evade, so I take hit, weapons failure. Tomax then does the range 1 onto hull. I roll crit, hit, eyeball, spend the focus, and hull blanks. And the crit through is a panicked pilot.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I now eat an APT.
Yeah, but let's be real. Reimer could easily die to a.
Oh yeah.
At least he's taking the APT.
Yeah.
Like, if I was Chris, I might have risked doing a primary here to save the APT.
He rolls 2 blanks, 2 hits, and a focus. He re-rolls the 2 blanks into blank and a hit. Spends. It doesn't bother spending because I talked him through this at this point, saying he's already dead. Yeah. So that's fine. He rolls 2 evades.
Surprisingly average APT.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he could have spent the focus for a 4th, but I was like, "There's no point."
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like he with all of his mods, he would have ended up with 4 hits. That is a decently average APT, which counteracts the not so decently average everything else that's been going on in this game.
Yeah. Yeah. So Reimer's dead. Wedge shoots into Fifth Brother, rolls 2 hits out of hand. I roll evade, focus, spend a force. Reimer, before he dies, takes a parting shot into Han. I roll focus blank, spend the focus. Han rolls an evade.
Saturation salvo into an evade.
No, it wasn't saturation salvo because it wasn't a missile.
Okay.
Because I only rolled 2 dice. No, it was the missile, but I had weapons failure. That was right. Yeah. So he rolled it into evade. I saturation salvo because I know he can Han, but he rolled it into an evade. Like, all right. Then we go to. Well, apparently I just didn't shoot with Fifth Brother again. Wow. Well, I'm doing well in this one. What is it with me and forgetting ships at the moment? I don't do it in real life. Only seems to be TTS.
Is it TTS tilt?
Oh, maybe. I mean, I was tilting pretty bad at this point. I have to admit, I'd pulled up the dice stats, and I know they're not 100% representative, but there was something like a 9-point swing in it after 2 rounds of shooting. Alright, cool. But we'll see where we can go. Vader's still alive, and I know what Vader can do. But I am 9-0 down. It's not ideal. So now comes a bomb, because I might as well. And I do it with the bank just to try and get some curvature back in. I'm first player again. Sabine does a 3k. I do a 2 hard with Fifth Brother, and I forgot I was stressed, so maybe it wasn't a 2 hard, maybe it was a 1 hard.
That's a 1 hard.
I forgot I was stressed, so stay stressed. Hull does I think 1 straight to get rid of 1 of the stress. So has 2 left. Wedge, at this point, Chris has felt that bad that he's just kicking my ass. He's pitying me by flying Wedge onto a rock. Wedge takes 2 hits and dies.
Okay.
I feel bad about being 9 points ahead here. Have 3. Right. And I literally said that to him.
I don't think that was the reasoning.
Yeah.
I think he thought it was going to not hit.
Tomax does a 2 bank and takes a focus. Luke does a 3 hard.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course that barrel roll fits. Like,
I mean,
don't be like, oh, like it's close. Like Fifth Brother is between the nubs. That's
my point is, like, if it fits, it fits.
But it's just the way my luck is at the moment. That of course it fits. And I do a 1 straight with Vader, and I move my lock onto Luke, although I forget to take it off hand. And Han does a bank and double focuses.
Yeah, one bank, double focus.
So the bomb goes off, and I think it just hits Hull, who takes 1. Vader doesn't have Luke. Han has the obstructed, non-obstructed range 1 into Vader. Rolls crit, hit, focus, blank. Spends for 2. I roll blank, evade, focus, spend a force. So just take the crit. And they get the force back.
1 shield off Vader, get the force back. Happy days.
I think Tomix has a range 3 obstructed into Han, so he fires a barrage rocket. I roll hit, focus, focus, so spend for 3. He rolls focus, evade. I choose? Yeah, I do choose to. I think I choose a saturation salvo that. Yeah, I do saturation salvo it into evade blank. He then chooses not to Han it, apparently, so I suppose 50-50. Yeah.
I think that's fine. 50-50 is fine.
But at least that's one. I think I would have rolled it, because even if you roll a focus, no one else is shooting him, but that's me.
Yeah, but I think this is one of the cases of, like, you've got an evade, you've got shields. Why risk double blank?
Yeah, that's fair. Luke range 1's into Fifth Brother. Rolls hit, crit, crit. I roll evade, focus, focus. So I spend my only force. I take a crit. It was a loose stabilizer. I then range 1. Oh no, what do I do? I am an R whether I range 1 into Luke here or I go into Sabine. And I go into Sabine because she's got no tokens. Luke will get the force back. I've got no mods. I roll 1 crit. She doesn't take it because of Beskar.
But she drops the crate.
But she doesn't drop the crate. Because we probably didn't clock that it works that way. So actually, keep an eye on this. Turn 4 onwards, how many points she scores. Then we go to his force, and Hull does a turret into Fifth Brother. Rolls 1 hit. I roll an evade. Or maybe that was... That must have been Hull, or maybe it was Sabine and he just didn't shoot Hull. Well, it's not just me, apparently. There we go. There we go. I feel slightly better now. Yeah, I got Fifth Brother on 1 with a loose stabilizer. It's not ideal.
No, it's not. Okay, maybe you have to double check Beskar. Like I think it's the same as Impervium plating, because Impervium plating, if you discard the ship crit, I still drop the box because I've suffered a crit.
Fair enough.
I'm pretty sure that's how I've been playing it. If I'm wrong, I'll take the advantage that I should be gaining. But
I think it'll depend on whether it's if you suffer critical damage or if you would be dealt a face-up card, because surely the dealing is after you've suffered the... I don't know. I do not know. So, system... we roll off and I'm first player for turn 5. System phase, I drop another bomb, because honestly, I'm not sure I get another chance.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do it with Bendy. Hull's stressed. I figure either he's got to hard turn away, which means he's not ditching either of the stress, or maybe a 1 bank catches it. So we'll try. Sabine does a 3 straight, which I think clips Luke, but does not suffer any damage for that. I go straight and it bumps into enemies, so I take the red focus. It is, I think, there's a 1 straight, wasn't it? A 1 straight from the Y-Wing, which clears another stress, so just 1 left. I 3 bank with Tomix, and then I barrel roll in because A, I know where Vader's going, and B, I was just trying to catch Luke if he does something stupid.
Yeah.
Luke just does I think 1 straight and stays where he is. Vader 1 banks in and takes a focus. And Han does a hard turn to the left and double focuses. The bomb doesn't catch anyone. And Vader goes into Luke. I roll hit, blank. I spend a force on his ability to end up with hit, crit. Luke rolls blank focus, so spends a force on the evade. So takes his last shield and a console fire.
Alright, that's something.
Han, I believe, goes range 3 into Grand Inquisitor, rolls hit, crit. I roll focus, evade, spend the force for 3 evades. And then I think he goes into Vader, rolls crit, hit, focus, spends the focus. I roll... it's not... Yeah, must be Tomux. I roll 1 evade and 2 focuses, so I take hit and a crit. The crit's a blinded pilot. I then shoot range 3 into Han with the primary because no focus. I roll 2 blanks. Console fire. Luke doesn't take anything. Then shoots range 1 into the bomber. Blank, focus hit. So spends a force for 2. I roll 1 evade. So down to 3. I then range 1 into Sabine with the Grand Inquisitor. Stop calling him the Grand Inquisitor. 5th brother. I roll blank, focus, but I opt not to spend the focus because I'm getting a range 1 shot back. Yeah, it's unmodded, but I'm on 1 health. I've got to survive at that point. Hull does a range 2 turret into 5th brother. Rolls 1 hit. I roll 2 evades. And then Sabine rolls hit crit. And I roll focus, evade, blank. So spend and live.
Nice.
And then Sabine scores another point. So two that she shouldn't have so far.
Well, possibly. We'll come back to this later. I've looked up. I've got the reference for damage, and you could argue either way. I don't know.
Fair enough. There's not an FAQ on the forum, right?
I could go looking for it.
Yeah. So, all right. I've chipped some damage into Luke. It's okay-ish. Like, ships are dying. They're bleeding. And, Chris has only been ticking up 1 point with Sabine each turn. But we go into turn 6 and I'm first player again. This is the move that catches me off guard. Sabine does another K turn. A 4K. Ooh. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I was expecting Sabine to go fast and straight because I can't turn my ships on that. Like, a too hard from Vader just takes him too far around. And the other ship, like, I think a too hard from the bomber puts him too near the rock. I've got to go straight with 5th brother. So, yeah, I wasn't expecting the K turn. And I
have an answer.
Okay.
Just to interrupt, there is a AMG post about Chewbacca, Beskar, and Impervium plating, and the answer is no. These upgrades have no effect on whether the supplier cache needs to be jettisoned. You still suffer critical damage. It just potentially changes how the card is dealt after this.
Okay.
So Sabine should have dropped that crate.
Fair enough. Yeah. I really also regret changing the 1 bank that I had dialed in with Vader, because that would have been quite nice.
Yes.
So we go to my 4s, and I do a 2 straight with 5th brother and repair the loose stabilizer because I'd quite like to be able to turn.
Yeah, at this point, the Force will either save you or you're going to die at some point anyway.
Exactly. Right? Plus, I kind of figured the Y-Wing's got to be coming down this way somewhere because it's running out of board space. And it does do a 1 bank and takes a focus. And then links it into a lock with Precise Astromech.
Nice.
I do a 1 straight with Tomax because I'm just trying to catch Luke.
That makes sense. If Luke can bump, he's in trouble.
And I'm pretty sure at this point I was still thinking that I dialed in a 1 bank with Vader. Spoilers, I changed my mind and forgot I changed my mind.
Ah, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem. Luke does a 3 bank, which bumps into Vader.
Okay.
And R2D2's for a shield back. And I do a 3 bank with Vader.
Oh dear.
Because that's going to be like... Alright, I wasn't expecting Sabine to be range 1 behind me. So I was like, let's jump on the Y-Wing, let's kill the Y-Wing. And then, we can start thinking about trying to pick up a crate and get some points, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Afterburner's boost, target lock the Y-Wing. Yes, you did it.
Afterburner's boost and target lock the Y-Wing. And then Han goes over the rock. Takes 1 damage. And double focuses, because he clears. So Vader does do the range 1 into the Y-Wing. I roll 2 hits, 1 focus, 1 blank. I and ah about what to do here.
Force it.
I spend I change a crit with the targeting computer. I re-roll. Because I'd have to roll double blank for it to be a worse result. I end up with hit blank. I spend a force for 3 and a crit. He rolls an evade. The crits
he rolls a focus. He rolled a focus.
Oh, sorry, rolled a focus.
No,
he hasn't spent it.
I could have sworn he rolled a focus. No. Well, he's dead anyway.
The crit was a direct hit, so he dies.
No hope.
No hope. So we go to Han, who has an obstructed into Tomax. Rolls hit, blank focus, spends for 3. I roll 1 evade, so I take 2. I'm alive on 1.
All right. Can Sabine do the dirty?
Sabine, range 1, rolls 3 focuses.
There we go.
And it's at this point I really regret dropping that bomb and going, I'm not going to get another chance to...
Did Luke roll his console fire?
No, but we do go back to that, don't worry. Okay. There we go. Luke rolls a console fire and rolls a crit. Because, of course, Chris has rolled many crits today. So no damage there. And then I accidentally hit undo way too many times on Tomax and have to shove him back. So, yeah, that's fine. Turns out undos will go through ships.
Yes, it will.
But at least the Grand Inquisitor can turn.
Yeah, and if he were in the game, that'd be even better because he'd be 4 points. But Fifth Brother will have to be what we have.
I forgot that. Alright, fine. So we roll off and I am first player for turn 7. The score's now 12-6, so at least I've clawed it back a little bit. It's semi-respectable. Sabine does a 2 straight and takes an evade. I do a 2 Talon with Fifth Brother.
Big bro, yeah.
Because I got some force. In fact, I got both force now, so... And yeah, obviously stress. I do a 3 hard with the bomber. And pick up a crate. Luke does a 2 hard. And...
Fixes his console
fire. I 3 Talon with Vader and Afterburner boost in. And then Han bumps into Luke.
Oh.
And takes a damage.
Alright, so Han's shields are down.
So I've got a range 1 non-target lock shot into Sabine. I roll hit, focus, blank. I spend 2 force for 3 hits. Sabine rolls 1 evade and then spends the evade for 2. This takes 1. Han has a 3 obstructed into the bomber, so 4 on 4. He rolls hit, crit. I roll blank, focus.
Oh, that's a shame.
So the bomber dies.
Blank 3 focuses, man.
Yeah. Fifth Brother has a range 2. I roll hit, focus. I spend a force. Because I was umming and ahhing, do I keep it to try and get the crit? But... I don't know. Sabine rolls 1 evade, so takes 1 more. She then goes back into Fifth Brother. She rolls 1 hit. I roll 3 blanks. So, yeah, that's him. He should be dead. Right?
It. Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, and that's when I call it.
Yeah, well, it's because he's also hit.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Well, but he hasn't though, has he? Because he should be.
He he was on 12 and he just killed 2 4-point ships, so that's 20.
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was thinking about the but I know, but he shouldn't be on 12. Is my point.
Oh, true.
He should in fact be on.
He should be 3 points down.
3 points down. But I mean that is what it is. So yeah, interesting and also not interesting at the same time. Like, definitely mistakes made. Target priority. Yeah, maybe I should have gone a little slower for that initial engagement.
So
I just feel like bad choices compounded by some bad luck.
Yes. I think like the luck didn't help. I also think spreading out didn't help you either. I think you should have just block jousted that.
Yes, I think with everyone except Vader. I should have put
with Vader.
No. I think Vader, because I don't want him to have, say, Wedge and Sabine just taking a crate and running around and scoring 2 points and not worrying about it. I want something that poses a credible threat to stop them doing that.
Yeah, I guess. I just feel like the bombers grouped up with Vader just blats everything they fight,
except Luke, because Luke just
survives. Well, no, I think Luke.
Well, maybe.
I like statistically, Luke dies.
Maybe.
Like, he gets his shot. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah. No,
but chances are he hasn't locked. No. But chances are he hasn't locked Vader. So he's shooting a bomber. And do you really care about bombers' lives? No, because you're Imperial. You don't care about your TIE fighters or your TIE bombers.
Well, yeah, that's true. That is true.
Because like, yes, Vader is AC, but I honestly feel like sometimes treat him like you would with the boy TIE fighters. Like, just you throw lots of dice. Like in this scenario, let Fifth Brother be your credible threat, because his homing missiles are a credible threat to both Sabine and Wedge.
The issue I had, or I was worried about, is those, but it's also Han, because I know what Han can be like for just, he just skirts around and shoots through rocks and stuff. And when you're a block, it's much, much easier for him to do that, uncontested. Like, I thought by having Fifth Brother and Vader over that sort of thing, I was like, yeah, sure, you can come over this way, and, go through the rocks and get the shots off, but there's threats that might not be in your arc, and...
yeah, that's true, but, at least to me, Vader and Fifth Brother being on that side told Chris, oh, you can just come and kill my bombers with relative impunity.
Yeah.
Yes, Luke should have taken more damage, but I still think Han and Luke beat 3 bombers.
But it wasn't necessarily a case of just an all-out whether they beat them. I should have shot Han, and Vader should have banked in so that the next turn he's shooting Han as well, so...
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's a whole different ballgame, because Han punched out a lot of damage in that game. And, I got Han's shields down, although I think he took 2 of them for me, but, if the bombers had gone in, and then Vader's there popping crits into him, sneak a blinded pilot onto him, Han reroll that. But yeah...
I mean, he can.
No, he can't. It's still a modification. It's just not a reroll.
Modification. Okay.
Yeah, he's still a modification.
Isn't it not a mod?
No, it's still a mod. That's why you can't range 0.
True.
It's still a mod. It's just specifically not a reroll. So
yeah, So to me, the basis of this game was Chris's heavy hitters caught your bombers. Minus their backup, essentially.
Yeah. I think... See, I only think it's 50% that. Yeah. I think it's 50% that and 50% I shouldn't have shot Luke.
I mean, yes.
Yeah. I think if I'd gone into Han... we don't know what the exact odds would have been. It's impossible to tell. But I think I would have come out with it in a better situation, even if all of Chris's shots had the same impact.
Yeah.
So... But there we go. That's why we review them, to look at this stuff. And I think I'll play the list again.
Yeah, I think you definitely play the list again. I think you just because how often have you actually played essentially torrents?
Not that often. Torrents are rubbish.
Exactly. Well, that's essentially what bombers are.
Okay, you and I have had this argument,
Like-
and I hard disagree with you.
Like the bombers are essentially torrents.
They're not, though.
2 dice attack, 2 dice defense, 1 more health. Woohoo!
Yeah,
They're
no.
actually boy torrents.
I will give you the base stat lines, and then you take into account the barrage rockets and the bombs and the pilot abilities, and they're not torrents. They're much better. Like
they're better. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're much better.
I think they are. I think they're much better than torrents. But hey, I'm quite curious to try it with the decimator. Put rack in there. See how that goes, and then decide on a 3-point ship. But yeah, we'll definitely give that a crack. I think. What we need to do is get you playing for the next game, Sam.
Yeah.
Whether that's against me or not is fine. But yeah, I think that's about it for this week, isn't it? Unless you've got anything else you'd like
not much more to add.
No.
I'm just still working on what I want to actually fly in Separatists these days.
Yeah, you're running out of time. Like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's alright. I'll just rock up a random list.
That's fair. Well, on that note, we'll wrap it up for this week, guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week with something interesting, we hope.
Well, we always try.